to Timothy Pitson's news articles of parents who have killed their own children. And at first I was like, there's only gonna be a couple. This isn't a common thing, right? It can't be a common thing. It goes against nature, it goes against biology to take the life of a child you've given life to. But it was insane to me how many articles, and I just started going down a rabbit hole, finding one after the other after the other. And what was really upsetting to me was these articles and these incidences were all from the past year or 2 years. And I said, this is insane. This is a lot of mothers and fathers who have killed their own children in just the past year, just the past month, actually. There was so many news articles. And obviously, I could never fit all of them in here, but I wanted to talk to you about a couple of them. And then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the implications of what we're seeing, where you will hear people say, or you'll hear news articles say, filicide, which is the murder of a child by one of its parents, is very uncommon. But it doesn't seem to be that uncommon. In fact, I would argue that it seems to be on the rise. And there doesn't seem to be a clear line drawn as to what kind of demographic this kind of thing happens most commonly in. You'll find filicide in different socioeconomic statuses, different religions, different genders, different races, different countries, so different cultures as well. The ages of the parents who do this range from anywhere from very young, which you might expect, to older. And the ages of the children would range from very young to what you might expect to older as well. It's just bananas. And obviously, it's more common in certain cultures. It's more common in certain countries. But there really is no culture or country or race or socioeconomic status that it is solely exclusive to. And that's kind of scary because you really can't pinpoint it. You really can't say this is going to be more prevalent happening in this area or within this race or within this religion. It just seems to be something that humanity is struggling with. It's scary to me to think that it has almost become so common that we don't even get shocked anymore when we see it pop up in our news apps.
But you're trying to prove that men are just as nurturing as women. However, it seems that the genders do it for different reasons. And all of this affects the family court systems and the laws that need to be enacted in order to protect the children from mentally ill parents. Whether it's any mental condition, I don't care what it is. Postpartum depression, maybe the mother should not be around the children until she is actually over the depression. And that could seem a little harsh, but if that's a solution that we need to look into, or having the mother constantly around a caretaker or something like that. And then what's the excuse for men that get divorced and their children are adults and then they go on a killing spree? Or they, what is the excuse? What's the argument? Mental health issues. That's what it comes down to. Mental health issues not being taken seriously in the family court system and not taking the best interest of the children in these cases more seriously, and not focusing on allegations of mental health issues and proven documents of mental health issues in favor of the bias that parents need to be with their children at all cost. Because the cost is the child's life, the child's well-being. There's no argument against it. That's facts. Literally, facts are facts. So I encourage you guys to go and finish watching the video, because Stephanie is an amazing creator. She does so much detailed work. And she would be able to explain it because she already has. So I am providing you resources to further your education in these topics. Because it's not a gender-biased issue. It's a mental health issue. And mental health literally affects everybody. It's part of being a human. So that's what I have to say. Oh, and it's on the rise. And being on the rise is pretty scary, because that means mental health issues amongst parents is on the rise for both genders. And the fact that the courts aren't seeing this trend and taking it seriously is the discussion that we actually should be having, instead of blaming women. Because your argument originally, let's recap. Your argument was women aren't more nurturing because they kill their kids. And it's a personality trait. However, I've just enlightened you to the fact that men will actually more commonly take their child out because of some sort of revenge. And most cases of women killing their children was due to actual mental illness. So, again, I'm so curious to see what argument you're going to try to make in this case. Bye. Oh, okay. So all of my parents out there, please comment what you think about these matters. Do you think that it's a trend that family court is ignoring? Do you think that it has a gender bias? Do you think that the whole argument of women aren't nurturing by nature because they kill their children and men are just as nurturing? What is your whole take on this matter? I'm very curious. Please, respectfully, no name calling, no false information, and no immature behaviors. Be respectful, kind, and considerate, and have an actual conversation. But what's your take?